Hey everybody, I realized I'm missing one of my important lights. That's where my light would be clipped onto if there was one. So I'm gonna do most of my video facing this way. Hey everybody, you can go to Netflix to watch the movie I'm about to review. That way you can be prepared for the parody I do next week. And that's how that works. Today we watch a movie called Bronson, or as I like to call it, Bronson. A movie described as the director of Drive's vivid, unflinching biopic delved into the life of Britain's most notorious prisoner, Charles Bronson, Tom Hardy, who's been jailed for nearly 35 years and attempts to dissect the real man behind the range persona. Alright, let's get started. Okay, the movie just ended, and it's basically insane. Like, truly, the definition of insane. The state of being seriously or mentally ill. Or as Albert Einstein once put it, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Bronson is based on an actual prisoner in England, and when I first watched it, I had such high expectations. First, I love true stories. Second, prison makes any story a lot more interesting. Third, everyone speaks in a British accent and makes everything sound a lot more sophisticated. 4, Tom Hardy's in it. And 5, the guy who directed Drive made this. That's good enough to give this movie 5 stars. But then I actually watched it, and it was actually quite underwhelming. You can tell that Nicholas Winding Refn, find it hard to pronounce his name, directed this movie because first off, the music sounds so great. Sounds so great? Yeah. It really reminded me of the Drive soundtrack. You can tell he directed it like 5 minutes in. All of his camera angles are very similar to those used in Drive. And he does a lot of cool things too. Like, there's this one scene where a conversation is had from behind the person. You hardly ever see that in cinema. That sounded cool. And again, the color palettes for this movie were amazing. It reminded me a lot of Drive. Overall, I love the style of the film. That's because I love Drive. And I love Tom Hardy as an actor. He's always doing something different, and he shows a lot of range, which is why I cannot wait to see him play Bane in the new Batman. But for the love of God, Tom Hardy, I never want to see your exposed genitalia ever again. The first time I saw it, I thought that the director was going to pull one of these. But no. He lets it all show. And it really works on giving you a sense of realism. Because in real life, you don't have books covering your dick all the time. Note to self, never make a realistic looking movie. The only other thing I can say good about this movie was the way it's told. I hate saying this, but the movie's very theatrical. It cuts to him and the story he's telling, and then it cuts back to him actually telling the story to an audience, which is really weird, but it works. And it really helps show how crazy Bronson actually is. Now I'm going to start talking about the things I didn't like about it. I'm not a fan of artsy movies like this. I saw Clockwork Orange like a couple of months ago, and I really didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. Not to say I didn't like this one. I really enjoyed this one, but I know a lot of people aren't going to like it. A lot of them are going to be confused. And believe me when I say I was confused at first too. But I guess what Nicholas was trying to do while directing this was show the definition of insanity at work. Bronson is that kid in high school that really just likes to fight people. And he doesn't care. He's just an asshole. Kind of like my brother who decided to sleep while I'm recording my review. But yeah, I find Bronson funny, but I can't relate to the guy. I don't know. Everything about this movie was just weird. If you're actually going to watch this movie, don't watch the trailer first, because the trailer hypes you up so much, it looks a lot better than it actually is. I came in thinking this was a movie about a guy who gets into a whole bunch of prison fights and he moves up the ranks as like a prison fighter. But that's only going to be the complaints of most people. I kind of really like this movie. I felt that it was well directed, the visual style was fun and entertaining, though the story seemed kind of stationary most of the time. In fact, all throughout the movie, his reputation is like this, while he sees it skyrocketing. I didn't notice that. He would get out of jail, do something stupid, and get sent back in. He'd get out again, beat some people up, and then come back in. He'd constantly do that, and especially when he leaves prison, the movie just gets really weird from there. Like, he's invited to, like, orgies and, like, weird, like, women are like rubbing up against him. I think you see his privates more than you do anyone else's in the movie. But besides that little fact, this is an artistic movie made to be appreciated by film majors. And though I am not a film major, I really enjoyed this. And I enjoyed breaking it down for everything it was worth. And to me, it was actually worth a lot. Until I saw the movie Identity recently, and that was just a lot better than everything I saw. I recommend watching Identity. Really good movie. And the ending of this movie is like this. Nothing really happens overall. There is no sense of resolve in it. It's insanity at its best. And I thank you. But yeah, overall, here's my rating system. The Human Centipede, Edward Scissorhands, Annie, Bronson, and Drive. Go to Netflix to instantly stream it and watch it. That way you can get a better understanding of the JWW I'm about to do. That's what I'm calling Jose What You Watch. It flows off the tongue better. I enjoyed it. If you like film, you will enjoy it. If you like movies like Transformers 2, please stay away from this at all costs, because you will just end up hating life. So stay tuned for next week's video. Blah, 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 blah. Thumbs up, subscribe, and all that stuff. I will be going now. Sorry I didn't have many jokes in this one. I felt like getting down to the review, and then the Jose What You Watch, I'm going to have more jokes. So stay tuned for that. I am leaving now. Goodbye.